All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started now. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll do a quick introduction of me. Sorry, it is certainly a Monday. Hi, everybody. My name is Juan Pablo Marroquin. I'm an admissions representative here from the University of Kansas. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say this is my favorite event of the year. And why am I saying that? Because I'm a journalism grad. I'm a tad biased, but I absolutely love my experience, and you all will absolutely love it as well. So today we've got a great schedule for you. We're going to be discussing all things KU. We'll be talking about that great J-School experience of what you can get. And first off, we're going to have a wonderful introduction by Dr. Brill, the Dean of the School of Journalism. So following the introduction, we'll then jump into what you'll expect your freshman year. We'll talk a little bit about how you can navigate the different spaces at KU, what you can get involved in. And then we also will have some academic breakout sessions with some of our wonderful professors. There you can get your questions answered. You'll learn more about that classroom experience, what that means to you, what your degree can be for you. And then we'll jump into a talk with some of our current J-School students. So that way you can get your questions answered. You'll get to learn more about that, what it means to be a Jayhawk, what those experiences are like, and we'll have some last steps following that. But right now, I definitely want to hand the floor over to Dr. Brill and would love for her to have some opening remarks as a quick introduction for the Dean. Dean Brill of the William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications is a first-generation college student. Dean Brill received a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism from the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, a master's degree in journalism from Marquette University, and a PhD in Mass Communications from the University of Minnesota. Her teaching background includes surveys of mass media and popular culture, new media, reporting, and editing. Professionally, Dean Brill wrote for a number of publications, including the Billings Gazette, the Mosine Times, and served as the director of Dow Jones Newspaper Fund Online Editing Workshop. Dean Brill leads the School of Journalism and Mass Communications with a focus on student and helps support students both in and out of the classroom. Dean Brill, thank you so much for joining us. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Juan Pablo. It's a pleasure to be here. This is really exciting. Again, as Juan Pablo was saying, that this is one of my favorite events because I get to say hello to some of our incoming students, and that's always exciting. You are the reason that we are here. KU and the School of Journalism and Mass Communications is a student-centered environment. That means that whenever we're having discussions about what we should do or what our priorities are, we remind ourselves that the students come first. And so we have a great balance of people who are incredible scholars and researchers, and they are also very, very good teachers. And they care about you. We win a lot of teaching awards. Our most latest award was from the Center for Teaching Excellence, and it was on curriculum innovation. So we're always changing, always innovating, always looking for better ways to serve our students. So a couple things you really should know about the School of Journalism. A lot of times what I hear from students is that they feel comfortable in the school. They have found a place there. They feel it's like a small family away from home, but it's also big time journalism. You know, among our alumni are people who work at places like Google and Amazon and the Wall Street Journal and the Kansas City Star, but also the Register in Iola, Kansas, or, some of the many agencies in Kansas City. So wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Kansas is a great place to start. So we are known among the elite schools of journalism for our experiential learning and having student leadership development. So everyone will say the buildings are great. This is journalism building right behind me, newly remodeled. Everyone will say we have great faculty. We have smart people who work here. We have amazing alumni. But one of the things that really distinguishes the School of Journalism at the University of Kansas is that students get to make decisions. You get to start early, become leaders, and you'll hear more about that from some of the faculty here on this call. And we really, really encourage you to get involved early. So you'll hear from Rob Carwith about the Kansan and Cal Butcher from KUJH and Crossroads Media. We have another agency called the agency, as a matter of fact, and that's for strategic communication students. So come get involved early. We really encourage that. Something also that's very important is that in fall, 2021, we will be having the same kind of in-person instruction that we had pre-COVID. So we expect to see you. We will be there in person. Classes will be held in our building and the various buildings around campus. So we hope that things are going to be as normal as they can be following, the pandemic. So we'll be there, and we hope to see you there as well. One other thing I wanted to be sure to tell you about, if you haven't already heard about it, and I hope some of you are recipients, the School of Journalism annually awards close to $600,000 in scholarships and awards. So if you weren't able to take advantage of that this year, be sure to apply next year. Among the various schools of journalism I'm familiar with, that's probably one of the highest amounts in terms of how we help our students out. So sign up, pay your deposits, and we will see you in the fall. And come see me. I'm in 200 Stauffer Flint Hall, and the sign on my door says, "Education is not a spectator sport." So hope to see you soon in person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jean. We greatly appreciate that. Thanks for those awesome words. We're really excited for that. So now we are going to transition here, and we're going to jump into our next portion, and we are going to have Hime join us and talk about that KU experience and what to expect in that first year as a Jayhawk and as a student in the journalism school. Hime, please feel free to take it away, and thanks for presenting.
Thank you so much, Juan Pablo. I'm going to get this screen ready for you guys. I know that on this call we have a combination of students who are both direct admits to the School of Journalism, and we also have some pre-journalism students. So as I start this slide to talk about what to expect your first year, I'm going to go over just a couple of things just so everyone's on the same page about how to get in the school if you're not in it already, and a couple other curriculum notes. So we are the William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications, the only named school on the KU campus. And I always like to talk a little bit about our history. We have taught journalism at KU for 118 years, and we are also housed in, I've seen two different facts. It's either the second or the third oldest building on campus. Stauffer Flint Hall was built in 1899, and like Dean Brill said, we just completed a huge $5 million renovation. We're very student-centered, and we really value creating critical, creative, and collaborative thinkers. In terms of size, so there are 19,000 undergraduate students at KU, but School of Journalism is kind of your little small home away from home. We have approximately 750 undergraduate students, so that means 70% of your classes are going to have fewer than 30 students. It also gives you really great access to faculty with a 17-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and our emphasis is really on that undergraduate education. We do have approximately 100 students that are here working on their master's or PhD, but the emphasis is on that undergraduate education. So students who are already admitted to the School of Journalism, these are the requirements for this year. So that 24 with a 3.0 high school GPA, 21 ACT, 3.25 high school GPA, or 3.4 GPA test optional. If you have a really amazing, like last semester of senior year, that bumps your GPA up, please feel free to get in contact with me. As long as it's before the first day of classes in August, we can do a change of school for you so that you can be considered a direct entry freshman. If you're coming in as a pre-J and just want to check things out before declaring your major, once you've hit 24 credit hours, you're able to apply to the School of Journalism. And that can be 24 hours either completed or in progress. You just kind of want to remember 2.5 is the magical GPA, whether that's at KU, we hope it's at KU or elsewhere, and you'll want to take Journalism 101, one of our beginning courses. Also, curriculum-wise, we do have our students either choose a double major or a minor outside of journalism, and we do have students take 4 semesters of a foreign language. You can take 4 semesters of the same language or 3 semesters of one language with the intro semester to a second. I will put a little kind of caveat, a little star. This may change by the time you get here. And if it does change, it will be no more than 4 semesters. It may possibly be less. And if those changes happen, we'll be sure to communicate that with you. So the first step of your freshman year is summer orientation. Summer orientation is live. You can pay your deposit. As soon as you've paid your deposit that says, yes, I'm coming to KU, then you are able to choose from some summer orientation dates. Currently, all of our in-person dates are full. However, you can still attend a virtual orientation. During that orientation, you will meet with one of our 3 academic advisors, Francis, Dan, or Eddie, and they're going to sit down and talk to you and see, hey, are you a morning person? What's your favorite class in high school? What's maybe your least favorite class in high school? And they'll really work with you to make sure that if math is your least favorite class and you're not a morning person, they're not going to put you in an 8 a.m. calculus class. They're going to make sure that you're set up for success, especially that first semester. Additionally, about a month after you started classes, you'll do another check-in with your advisor just to see how things are going, how that transition is going with living with roommates or getting adjusted to courses. In terms of your classes, our students typically take anywhere between 12 and 15 credit hours that first semester. Your first classes are going to be a combination of those KU core classes, so English 101, college algebra, those type of courses, and a couple of journalism classes. The courses I've listed here are open to all students, whether you are a direct entry major or if you're a pre-journalism student. So your first semester, everyone will take Journalism 101, Media and Society. It gives you a great overview of media. How do we consume it? How do we understand it? How to understand if you read a study that says Pepsi is the best, understanding that if Pepsi is the one who funded that study, maybe we can look at that through a different critical lens. After you've taken Media and Society, or you can take it concurrently, you'll take Words at Work, and this just gives you that really great, strong writing background. Journalism, we are storytellers, and so one of the core things that we teach is how to be a really great writer. Additionally, if you're interested in jumping right in with broadcast media, we have basic video production. It's a great course if you've never touched a camera. It's led by Cal Butcher, who you can meet later on in the sports media room. But these students put on 2 shows, Good Morning KU and Good Evening KU, much like Good Morning America. And with that, each week you have kind of a new assignment. So one week you may be in front of the camera, the following week you might be behind the camera, the week after you might be producing, the week after that maybe you're running the teleprompter or the switcher, the TriCaster. And also for our students interested in strategic communications, you can choose to take the agency, which gets you ready for our student media, the agency, which is basically mini advertising agency run by our students with paying clients. One of my favorite parts of our program, especially as an alum, is the ability for students to get involved early. So we really recommend and encourage you, your first year, to get involved with our different student media. You can choose from the newspaper, the University Daily Kansan. We have a magazine, Chalk, which is under the umbrella of the Kansan. Media Crossroads is really great, especially for those sports students. If you want to learn about opportunities to volunteer with KU Athletics, Cal Butcher, again, is a great resource and is our bridge between the School of Journalism and KU Athletics. Every sport at KU is videoed in some form or fashion, and he'll work with you to find those opportunities where you can involve and really build those skills. Additionally, students, especially if you're coming in with significant broadcast backgrounds, there could be opportunities your second semester or your sophomore year to create your own content, create your own television show, produce it, film it, and get it out there for people to see. We have KUJH, which is more of your, think like your 6 o'clock news, sports, weather. We don't do traffic. Everyone's pretty much walking on campus. And then we also have the agency. This is a full service advertising agency that class I mentioned before ties into. So the class teaches you all the roles of the agency. And then as you work with the agency, you'll take different roles. They have done everything from, store openings, rebranding, social media campaigns, a really cool opportunity that gives you a really great taste of what it's like to work kind of in that marketing ad world. Additionally, we have Steam Whistle Creative, which is part of the agency, but these are our students who do really great video, who are amazing graphic artists, take slick photography. So they are the ones that really help those campaigns come alive. All of these different opportunities are available to you as a freshman. And we highly encourage get involved early so that when start your junior or senior year, ideally maybe you've already started in a job and on your way to your professional career. So right after you move into your residence hall or your apartment or your scholarship hall, the Friday before classes start, we host an academic welcome for students. It's a really cool opportunity to not only meet your professors, meet the dean, meet students, but this also serves as an opportunity to sign up for those student media opportunities. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I really am ready to write for the newspaper, I've never written for the newspaper before, come on down, introduce yourself. You'll work with Professor Gaston and Professor Karloff, and they'll teach you what you need to know as you go along. It's also a really great opportunity before the first day of class to come to the journalism building and just see where your classes are. You don't want to end up, this is a personal story, but I ended up in a chemistry lecture because I was like, oh, I know where to go. And I was in like one room over. So my first day of my freshman year, I sat in like a grad level chemistry class because we didn't have the academic welcome then. So I highly recommend the academic welcome so you're not sitting in chemistry 5000 and you are in your right journalism 101 course. Additionally, something that I really recommend for freshmen especially is getting a head start with our Career Center. The Career Center is a really great place to start thinking about this internship opportunities that you want, creating an online professional presence, whether that's curating your own personal website or creating a LinkedIn account. It's a great place also to connect with our alumni network. We have about 14,000 J School alum worldwide, and our alumni are really great. They are keyed in still to the school. They're excited to meet students. They're excited to help students. So it's really great to start, getting your name out there and networking. If you need help with your cover letter or resume or maybe a mock interview before an interview, Steve Rottinghouse will help you with all of that information. So I put a little question out to our advisors about, those kind of tips, tricks, and hints for freshman year. And these are their top ones. Be comfortable with feeling a little uncomfortable. It's a new situation, whether you're local or from further away. Everyone is a freshman. Try new things. It's okay to be a little homesick. We all, everyone gets homesick. But we really encourage students to take advantage of all the clubs, the student media, organizations. Try something new. Put yourself, a little bit towards the edge of your comfort zone. You don't have to go fully out of it, but towards the edge of your comfort zone and see what there is to offer. You never know if you're like, I think it'd be cool to have my own TV show. How would I do that? Meet with Cal, stop by Media Crossroads. Or if you want to write for the University Daily Kansan, maybe you want to be the next great sports writer, talk to Rob and he'll help you, create that career path. One thing that I thought was really great piece of advice is to make it a point to get in front of people, whether that's fellow students, faculty, even the dean. Introduce yourself, send out emails, say, hi, I'm Hime, I'm a freshman from Lawrence, Kansas. I'm excited to be in your research media methods class. Hope to see you soon. All of our professors offer office hours, which are just drop-in times where you can come in and say hello, talk to them about their careers. We have a really good mix of professors who have been in the professional world, and we also have a good mix of professors who've kind of gone the academic route. So they started with a bachelor's, a master's, finished with a PhD, and have done really great research. So you get a nice combination with our faculty between theory and practice. One thing that is key is creating a communication plan with your family. It's something that our advisors saw a lot or have seen a lot through the years. Ask your parents, how often do you want me to call? Or how often are you expecting me to touch base at home? Because sometimes students and parents aren't on the same page with that. So maybe it's a weekly Saturday afternoon call, or maybe it's every day. However you want to communicate that plan with your parents, but it's nice to do before classes start and before your parents start to worry because they haven't heard from you. It's just a nice little thing to make sure you're checking in at home. Also, definitely remember those study skills. Your days are going to be not as scheduled as high school, so you don't have to go from your classes to a sports practice to home to do your homework. You are in charge of your schedule. So, use those time management skills that you've learned, organization skills, using a planner. Setting aside study hours are really important things, especially to be successful that first year. If you're not quite sure, like, I don't really know where to start or what is even time management, stop by and talk to our advisors. They have lots of great resources to help you, both like in the classroom and outside the classroom. And again, you're going to have a lot of choices. That first week, first 2 weeks of classes, there are quite a few events, quite a few opportunities to meet new people, to join new clubs. Check it all out, but definitely decide where you want to invest your time. You don't have to do everything all at once your first semester. You've got 4 years at KU, so you can spread it out, but definitely get involved where you can. And if you have questions or concerns, again, any of the faculty, we are so excited to talk to you. You can talk to me, you can talk to your advisor. We're here to make sure that you're successful, both in your academics here at KU, but also outside of the classroom at KU. And that is it for me. I'll stop the share. Whoop. And I'll give it back to Juan Pablo.
Esme, thank you so much. Appreciate you providing some great information for our students. Now, I definitely want to address at this time that I know that some of you were facing some technical difficulties getting into the Zoom today. We deeply apologize for any hiccups that might have occurred today, but I want to let you know and reinforce that we do have this presentation recorded, and we will be uploading it here within the week on our YouTube page for you to see anything you might have missed, additional, if you want to take a look back and review that you definitely can. But at this time now, would like to transition to our breakout room so that you, the students, can get some time to to jump into these different sessions and speak with the pros, the professors, and the faculty that you will be working with and getting to know. They are going to be able to help you out with, again, what that experience might look like, some additional resources that you'll find on campus. But if you'll change your Zoom name to include the academic breakout code that you are looking to attend, so that way we know if there's anything else that might happen that we can get you into the right room. So STRCOM for Stratcom, and news for news and info, and sports for sports media. So we will go ahead and have you all jump in there. Experiences, and then we'll jump into a short session in which we do have some of the questions that you sent in to us, but we will be opening up the floor for you to ask additional questions. So please, I'd like to invite now our student panel to introduce themselves, and we'll get started.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenna Foster. I'm a senior from the Chicago area, double majoring in Stratcom and marketing in the business school.
Hi, my name is Olivia Jones. I'm also a senior. I'm from Waterville, Maine, which is a tiny little town about an hour north of Portland and 3 hours away from Boston. And I am studying strategic communications, history, and music business.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I am also a senior and I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I am double majoring in strategic communications and psychology to go into market research.
Hey guys, I'm Julia. I'm from Chicagoland area and I'm Stratcom, and then my minor is business.
All right, thank you all so much. Okay, so we're going to get things started with just our first question, which is, of course, the big one. How did you all decide KU and the School of Journalism? We know there's a lot of options out there, but how did you know that it was the best fit for you?
I can take this one just because I'm from so far away. My mom is originally from Kansas City and she's a Jayhawk, so she definitely sort of pushed me and my twin brother sort of towards the idea of KU. But admittedly, I really was not 100% sure what I wanted. I was pretty convinced I was going to stay on the East Coast. Didn't know I was going to study journalism, but I think the deciding factor for me was I was ready to sort of take a leap of faith and do something different. And KU did a really excellent job of making me feel like I was already part of the community. Um, I got so much information about just what I could be doing and the things I could get involved with, and it made me really excited. Whereas other schools, not that they didn't do a great job, but I already felt connected to campus, to KU in ways that I hadn't at other places.
I definitely also enjoyed the home aspect being far away. I toured KU and fell in love with the campus. And I did a personalized tour of the J school, and I just really felt that the professors were going to look out for me and help guide me into a future career.
I just thought Lawrence was really fun. I thought everyone was really friendly. And like, to be honest, I didn't really know anything about the school, and my parents had never been to college or anything. And I didn't know that much about it, but I just thought Lawrence was really nice and the people were nice. So that was it.
And then for me, my older sister actually was in the architecture school, so I kind of heard about it that way. But I came and toured Kansas one spring break. I realized that you can kind of, if you're a direct admin into the journalism school, or if you choose that you want to be a journalism student your freshman year, you can start taking those classes right away. Whereas some of the other schools I was looking at, it was like, oh, if you wait till your junior year, that's when you can actually start taking those degree courses. So that was really important to me. I think my freshman year, I took 6 journalism classes, which is a lot compared to some other schools that I was looking at personally. And then just in general, why I chose KU, the honors program, I'm also a part of that. That was a big selling point for myself. Just the size of the journalism school, being able to talk to my dean on a first name basis was just something I never thought would happen. And it's just been really cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'd say one of the best things about the J school is that because like every single person knows everybody regardless of what classes you're taking, because they just do such a great job of making the students the priority from day one. Jenna's right. Like I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to study, but I started taking journalism classes like first semester, and I just immediately fell in love with it, and it was the right decision. But your professors make themselves super accessible. You can literally schedule a meeting with the dean at pretty much any point. She'd be happy to talk to you. She does this thing, not now during COVID, but donuts with the dean. So you get to have one-on-one conversations with her and really get to understand what it's like. And all of the different ways you can sort of get involved in the journalism school are right at your fingertips from day one. So it's easy to feel super connected to everyone. And that was huge, like small town thing to have be on first name basis. Like Jenna said, that's like, it's so cool.
Awesome, thank you. Now we did get some questions sent in beforehand. So Holden from Arlington asked, what is the best thing that I can do right now to prepare myself for the new school, or for as a new student for the School of Journalism?
I went in with pretty much no experience in journalism. That just wasn't available to me. But I would say the best thing you can do is just sort of have an open mind and be prepared to like ask questions. Your professors are going to be willing to meet with you outside of class, and take them up on it, get to know them. They're willing to help you. They want to help you. And that's just make sure that you are ready to learn is the biggest thing. It seems like there's some students that came from student newspapers or whatever that might have more experience from you, but I would say the J School does a really excellent job of making sure that people are pretty much on a level playing field. So you don't necessarily feel behind or have a super advantage.
I would just say in general, just be open-minded. When you go to college, I came not knowing anyone. Julia lives 15 minutes away from me, but we actually met in Kansas. So just be open-minded. You will meet a lot of different people. Get involved right away. I would say do that your freshman year. But then also just enjoy college. It is the best 4 years of your life, and it does go fast. All of us are seniors on this call, so it is weird to think that you guys are in just getting to school. So I kind of wish I could be back in your guys' shoes. But yeah, just enjoy the time, get involved, say yes to not everything, but things that are going to help you out. Just say yes to a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Holden, do you have a question? Sorry, can I? No. All right. Well, I will say that so far we've talked about having an open mind and jumping into these new experiences, right, that are obviously going to be afforded to you that you can have right away. We did have a question from Alexandria that what is the best way for students to approach these new experiences? Do you all have any insights or recommendations that might help future students?
My freshman year, I went to kind of like the open house for all the organizations on campus at the Union. And I don't know how they will do it in the future, but I took the opportunity as a way to involve myself within the J School specifically, but just on campus, you get to see all the different service organizations and just different clubs. And that's how I actually found the agency, which May talked about. And the organizations at KU, you can do your freshman year. And I think being able to pick and choose just a few to even try your first semester is the best option. But I really enjoyed that freshman week. They have the things on the Union, and I really think that's the best option.
There also is, for COVID reasons and before COVID, there is a website called rocktalkcentral.com, I think it is, that is actually the hub of all of our organizations on campus. So being in the business school and the journalism school and having friends across all campus, there's lots of different ways you can get involved, whether that be Greek life within the journalism school, things like that. Those are all listed there. And you can literally type in, if you're interested in sports, you can type in sports and see all the different organizations that kind of have to do with that. So I'll just put that in the chat.
Awesome. Now, as we do have a lot of students here that are exploring different pathways, one of the great things about the journalism program is obviously the versatility of the degree and where you can go with that. Phoebe from Wichita wants to know how you found the right major, or even those, those second majors and minors that you got involved with, and then ultimately how that led to your intended career path within the J School.
Yeah, I really didn't know what I wanted to study when I first came in. I knew it was not going to be like engineering, math, or science. Like I said, I started in the J School just because it seemed like a good fit, and I stuck with it. And it pretty much led me to music business. I work as a concert promoter pre-COVID, obviously, and I'm a DJ. And what I really liked about StratCom is that it didn't necessarily tie me down to a specific industry. It offered a lot of flexibility. I generally call it like the behind the scenes journalism, but the marketing and PR and the advertising foundational parts that I learned in the J School, I was able to apply to other areas and my interests that I liked outside of school. And that was really important to me. So I can pretty much take it in any direction that I want. You're always going to need somebody to not sell something, but advertise or market or be able to speak to your businesses or whatever in ways that other people just can't do it. So it opens the doors to every single opportunity. And I found that really refreshing.
Now, Olivia, what was your favorite concert? Now, obviously that hasn't been the case for a little bit, but everyone's got to have a favorite concert.
All-time favorite concert, that's a difficult question. I would say the ones that sell out, which is pretty good. I think a recent one that I did that I really, really liked was Rico Nasty. She's a female rapper that was in the fall, and I basically had I think it was 3 weeks to put it on. The promoter that I was working with was pretty difficult, but it was a good one. I also had to put on her son. It ended up being his birthday the day of the show when he was there. So he was 5 years old, and I got a text message from her agent being like, hi, so his birthday's tomorrow and he's going to be 5 and he loves Spider-Man. Can we celebrate? And I had to go get a cake and do all of the things with a 12-hour notice, but it was great and it was really memorable. And I have worked with KU Athletics quite a bit too. I'm on their advisory board. I helped create that for students. Basically because through the J School, I realized that what they were doing for fan experience and engagement was not necessarily getting the students' perspective. So attendance was dropping. And I said, listen, the things that people are really interested in and the attendance that you get the most at is when you have in music. So how are you able to combine those different resources? So I helped bring in Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross and different artists. So it's been fun. But yeah, I DJ too, and I do things outside of music as well. But I liked that StratCom gave me the flexibility and the options to pursue different things that I liked outside of school. And I was able to actively take what I was learning and use it in the real world all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Now, Jessica, you want to share something?
Oh, I really appreciate J101. They really take the time to walk you through all the different components of the communications industry, whether it's news and info and Stratcom. I didn't come in knowing that I wanted to be strategic communications. I actually had a dream of doing photojournalism. Then I took a photography class and realized it was more of a hobby. So I would definitely say to find ways to find your future career is to utilize those KU cores and take classes that are a little bit more outside the box that still fulfill the requirements. So that photography class was an elective for me. And that's how I realized it wasn't going to be my career. But then also it really tells you there's a bigger picture than just the few basic things that anyone that would, when you say journalism, thinks of. I didn't ever think I would be in research, and that's how I declared psychology as my second major, and I kind of cultivated that career path on my own. I worked with the advisors, and they really said these are different ways you can have jobs in the future, and thankfully I got an internship and will be working in that field in the future. But I really think the J School is the most flexibility in creating your own career path.
Absolutely. Now, some of you mentioned different career opportunities and internships. Would any of you want to jump in and talk a little bit about how you secured those internships, what they were like, maybe how you got or as you're finishing now and transitioning into the workforce and getting these jobs, what are some of the ways or what's some valuable insights that you have about getting these internships and having those opportunities?
I would say the majority of mine were from just Steve Rottinghouse, like either the Monday memo or some sort of random thing that he told me about. And then also one of my internships was intern abroad, which anyone can do. And then, yeah, my current position even is just from the Monday memo from Steve Rottinghouse. And then actually the job that I accepted the other day for after graduation was just a company career fair. So it's pretty much all. I'd like to say I found my own things, but no, it was just all from the J School, all from KU. And then yeah, interview prep and that sort of thing. Just Steve, advice, going to him for advice, and that's pretty much it for me, I'd say.
Like Julia, I actually have an internship right now as well. So we're both full-time students, but also are getting real-life experience while we're students. Hers is remote because I think the company's out of California, but mine is in Kansas City. So I'm working at a marketing agency on Tuesdays and Thursdays while I have class on Mondays and Wednesdays. And that's just because of how close Kansas City is to KU and how much that really KU loves, or these companies love hiring Jayhawks while they're students or even after they graduate. But a lot of my friends actually have gone the other way. If you're news and info, they actually have been able to go to Topeka, which is only 20 minutes away, and actually cover kind of real life state legislation, the most recent election, things like that. I know some people have actually been able to get some written experience on some state legislation they've showed in front of the Kansas State, which has been really cool. So if you're news and info, Topeka is a great resource. And then if you're Stratcom or even sports, we have the Chiefs, we have Sporting KC, there's a third, isn't there a third? Oh, the Royals. The Royals right now are great ways to get involved if you're a sport too.
Wow, Jenna, the Cubs win the World Series once, and now the Royals who win before, you just forget about them. Wow.
Not a Cubs fan, Sox fan.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. Well, we do probably have time for one last question. If you all want to hop on the mic, or if you want to go into the chat and ask that, we definitely want to make sure that you get all your questions answered here with our awesome students. All right. Well, I want to again thank you all for jumping in and talking about your experiences. I know you all are rock stars and have done some pretty incredible things across campus, and we appreciate you sharing everything to show these students that you can come onto campus and day one make an impact, do some really wonderful things. So we're excited to have all you future Jayhawks joining us. And now we are going to transition here to the final stretch here of our event for you. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about these final steps, and we'll be talking about just kind of what you need to get done before we begin going into, before you begin in the fall. So today, some of you may have received some emails that we are having our housing room selection starting up on April 7th. So that's coming up here in a couple of days. Room selection is based on when you filled in the housing application, but that final step to becoming a Jayhawk is paying that $221 enrollment deposit. That'll secure your spot for orientation. Orientation registration is up, and we currently are having a hybrid model where we do have some dates available in person and some that are online only. So maybe if you're out of state and you prefer that online option, or if you want to come onto campus and go through that orientation process here in Lawrence, you absolutely can. So orientation will be between the months of June and July, so 7 weeks with the exception of the week of July 4th. And you'll be able to select your classes, you'll meet with an academic advisor, and that's your first big hurrah as a KU student and all that. Now, if you haven't filed the FAFSA yet, we do encourage you to do so if you can. That can potentially maximize not just the amount of money that you're receiving from the federal government and from KU, so you want to grab that and send that in. And if maybe you've seen some of those rock chalk ready yard signs around the Kansas City area or at home, you can definitely grab one of those. So we're offering those signs for students who are attending one of our admitted senior day events here on campus for a campus visit. And we also will be distributing them here in the KC area within the next 2 months or so. We will be sending out additional information and registration links so that you can get those delivered to you if you are out of state and want to show your Jayhawk pride and put those yard signs on your lawn. Now, the last step, you're going to want to submit your transcripts. And the best advice I can give about submitting your transcripts is to get those in 1 week before you arrive on campus for orientation. Now, they're not due until July 1st, but the reason why I recommend 1 week is because then if you have it in our system, then we can get all that information in there. The advisors can take a look at that, so you're not jumping into classes that you don't need to take because you've already received credit for that, whether that be dual credit, AP classes, or anything like that. So get those transcripts in by July 1st, send those in. And if you do have questions, you can always reach out to your admissions representative, and we're happy to help connect you to resources and get those in for you as well. All right, and so we want to appreciate you all coming out today, and we do have one last surprise for you, but we do have a gift for one of you. And so we are giving out today a pair of AirPods for you to use when you arrive on campus. So if we can get a small drum roll, please. But our winner tonight is Riley Oswald from Osage City. So you're going to we'll send you information. We'll get those over to you. A little bit of applause. Thank you, Hame. And we'll get those over to you. So we'll follow up with some emails, but we do appreciate you all coming tonight. Congratulations, Riley. And I want to just hand the mic over to Hame one more last time to go over some additional contact information for you this evening.
Yeah. Again, thank you all for joining us this evening. It's great to see faces and to put like names and faces together, because I see your names on all sorts of things and databases. But if you have any questions, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out. If you have questions about KU, if you have questions about Lawrence, I'm what we call a townie. I was born and raised here in Lawrence. So I can tell you about classes. I can tell you about where to get the best burger and the best place to get an oil change for your car. We're here to support you. We're so excited to have you on campus. You will have an in-person experience next semester, and I'm just so excited to see what you guys are going to do with everything you learn here. And again, thank you for coming, and don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Hime, and thank you again, School Journalism, for joining us tonight and for putting on an awesome event. We appreciate all the hard work you do in helping future Jayhawks find those career aspirations, passions, and giving them opportunities to succeed. But right now, this is the end of our event, and we'll be sticking around here for just a couple more minutes if you all have additional questions. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy that basketball if you're watching tonight. That'll be starting up soon. If y'all saw that shot that Jalen Suggs hit, that was unreal. That was like, I'm still like hype about that. So again, thank you all for coming out, and rock chalk, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. Bye, Emma. See a couple students still on. Eric or Brian, do you guys have